everyone to another conversation, and today I have someone very special with us. I've known Melocco too for some time, and I'm delighted that she's joined us to share her story, and it's a beautiful story. Melocco came to Australia with no English, no money, and no contacts some 25 years ago, and she's built an empire. Welcome, Melocco.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So tell me, Melocco, what motivated you to come to Australia? How did all that happen?
I think about it. Really, I just come for no reason. So somebody offered me opportunity to study in Australia, and what they say, oh, you come to Australia, because I couldn't speak a word of English, of course, right? And they give me a very discounted fee. I think let's just go back to my Chinese nature. So if something is discounted, we'll think about it, right? So I just took the opportunity and come to Melbourne, precisely actually about 32 years ago now.
Wow,
yeah,
more than 25
time ago.
Yeah,
yes. And I think I'm the person who, if there's an opportunity, I just take it and I just give it a go. So that's the reason I end up in Melbourne and study English.
And how long did it take you to pick up English? Did you find it hard?
Like 30 years ago, yeah. Oh, I found it extremely difficult. And because I, come to Melbourne with a bit of an Australian accent, we studied a little bit English in the school, and it's just so hard to understand a word of it. But I took I studied in an evening school, and I pick up I guess I'm quite smart. I pick up very quickly. I think language is not the hardest thing to learn when you come to a new country. I think the hardest thing is actually be part of this, a community, and be part of a true Aussie. That's really, really challenging. That took me like a long time.
So one of your first entrepreneurial jobs was at Paddy's Markets when you moved to Sydney, wasn't it? Selling floppy disks or something?
Yeah. When I come to, this is a little bit background about me. Before I came to Australia, I was actually working. I got a really good job with the Australian, with the Chinese government. I'm like, I was one of the interpreters. I got the coolest job. Everybody's envy what I have. I was only about 19 years old, so I took a job as an interpreter from German to Chinese. So I come to the country from like a secure job for nothing. I couldn't even find a job. So I ended up like being a nanny, working in the restaurants, and started at daytime, and the work like 7 days a week. And fortunately, I got a job in Sydney. So I moved from Melbourne to Sydney and started working in a computer shop during the day. But obviously it's not enough. Whatever I made is not enough to pay my rent, right? I said, okay, let me just take an opportunity to work on the weekends. So I asked my boss to give me some like a floppy disks, if you remember those days, right? I said, give me some stock and let me just go and sit at the weekend markets. So that's how I started. Just from a government official to start to become a student learning the language, and then end up working in the markets with a bumbag, and that was like hilarious. If I thought back at those times, how did I do it? But literally, I work 7 days a week for maybe like 7 or 10 years. So wow. Yeah, I know. And the funny thing is like so the guy become my ex-husband, right? So he had this corner shop in, if you know Sydney, about in Surrey Hills, the Wentworth Avenue. It's a little corner shop repairing computers. So I borrowed some stock from him and I work in the market and come back to work for him during the week. And we grow. I apparently married him because I was like, you remember, I have nothing else, right? So I thought I was 36 years old. He was single. I was single. So you know what? Let's keep the money in the family. So, we got married based on that, and we grow that corner shop to an international company. Wow. So that's my first. I never knew I could actually be a businesswoman. I just want to meet my end mates. So learning the language, make a living, pay my rent, and apparently we grow that corner shop, the computer shop, to international company until today. So even though we were divorced now, but we're still business partners.
So you're obviously really good with money. Would that be your major skill set that you brought to the partnership?
I don't really know I'm good with money. I'm a big spender of money, right? I think one of my strengths is I'm really good in marketing. So I never knew that before. So I really know how to position a product. I know how to sell a product. Kathie, there's a joke. I was, remember we're talking about floppy disk selling at the market. At the one stage, there's something called recordable CDs. Have you heard about that? Yeah, you have like a Kodak, you have TDK, you have, like a verbatims. And so I become the #1 distributor for Kodak to sit in the Kodak recordable medias, but I never recorded one myself. Okay, so I don't know how to sell it. I guess I'm just a hardworking woman, have a sense of, a market of products and work really, really hard. So yeah, I'm not even good with the money. I never know how much I make. I just said, I just enjoy, like, just keep working, and God bless, right? So, once you keep working hard and, you find the position yourself, you grow a passion for what you do. At the end of the day, you're rewarded. Obviously, I think the business is doing so well. It'll grow from a corner shop to two Alexandria warehouses and a big warehouse in Macquarie Park. The business is just phenomenal. I think I can say I'm pretty good with the money, but I never really focused on money.
Okay.
Yeah, very fortunate.
So you moved, you ended the relationship, you got divorced, I know you've got a daughter, and then you started Black Diamondz. Is that how that happened?
Yes. So we in 2007, and the business, the IT business, grown from a really small mom and dad family business to a corporation. So I hired, this is back to the growing a business. At the beginning, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed my, my ex-husband, a couple of staff, and I have a massive transactions, working on the weekends. And at the one stage, I think, oh my God, I cannot just keep going like this, right? Now I have a family, I have a daughter. I just want to spend a little bit more time with my daughter. And the business probably need to grow into a corporation. So in 2003, I hired, we call it a corporate tiger, right? So one of my friends, he was actually a general manager for Panasonic. It's an international company. I said, Chris, come and have a look at my company, help me to grow the business. He came to join me, and he looked at the business, and my God, this is an amazing business, but we have to put, the procedures and system into place to be able to grow the business. I said, I don't know how to do it. You remember, I never really trained to be a business manager. I'm just a smart woman working hard, and I call myself very street smart. I said, Chris, come and help me. So he put a procedure, he put a system in that business. So in 2007, I didn't think I really enjoyed that corporate environment. It's really challenging for me to learn from a small accounting software called MLB to a big accounting system called SAP. As my God, are you kidding me? I just don't. You know what? I think it's time for me to step back from a business, let Chris to take charge of the business to grow into a corporation, and I spend a little bit more time with my daughter and look after my family. So in 2007, I stepped back, and my marriage, I think me and my ex-husband, we enjoy the business. Our marriage is very much based on business. We grow a little bit apart from that. I want to grow a little bit more spiritually and more family, but his #1 priority is still the business. I thought, okay, I think maybe he's the best business partner rather than a husband. From then, we really had a lot of troubles in our marriage, but I respect him a lot as a business partner. So now my ex-husband has got married, have 2 beautiful children. So we divorced in 2007. And I stepped down from the business and found a new partner. And in 2009, I could be bored, 2 years of retirement. I spent so much time shopping, traveling, school moms, this, what am I talking about? Coffees, gossiping and stuff. I said, no. I really think I'm born with a purpose, right? I cannot live not doing anything. So end of 2009, I met my now husband, and he has got a passion for real estate. And I've never been in real estate. I said, look, he was young, by the way, he's like much younger than me. I thought, let's just start a business. So we'll start something called Black Diamondz Property Concierge at the end of 2009 with my new husband. And since then, we grow the business from strength to strength. And again, I have my daughter. My daughter now joined me for the business.
Really? So,
yes.
11 years later, it's 11 years. Where is Black Diamondz now?
So the Black Diamondz now is a phenomenal. Okay, and we are an international brand, and we have I topped the national sales last year, and we have a turnover with $250-something million. And what we do is, I think remember I built the business in IT, a laser corporation from the market. So we just put hardworking, but we're still hardworking. I still work 7 days a week, right? I just love it. But we built Black Diamondz based on a different value, different vision. So the vision is about helping. At the beginning, we said, okay, we're helping the high net worth Chinese migrant to settling in Australia. So we provide a concierge, helping them with the educations, helping them with the business needs and the philanthropic needs, and also more like a lifestyle agent to help them. But of course, we have to have an offering. Our offering is, besides of free service of concierge service, offering a luxury real estate. So, in Chinese, all the Chinese come here. Number one thing is buying a house, settling in, and we'll look up the schools and the rest, right? So the business is more based on the helping people rather than just transactions. So that's the key of our success. Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? I was having a conversation with my son yesterday about the power of Asia, and it's a very positive conversation because whereas the West has been very transactionally focused, Asia is very relationship focused, and that's really where we're moving. Any relationship, like we've known each other for years, that's how you build friendships and business and networks, isn't it? And Asia is very good at that.
100%. So for Asians, is always like a relationship first. So they testing you. I enter in a market which is very male dominated, and which is really have not much good reputation. So they call, in China, you call real estate agent like a second salesperson, right? So you build a reputation within that community, and by selling real estate, it's really, really difficult. So, and over the 10 years, actually, I just had a conversation with my husband yesterday. We're talking about the biggest achievement is not how much we have sold. And the biggest achievements we build that reputation for the trust people have in us. Now, for the first 4 or 5 years, and people just don't buy from you. They're watching what you do, and we keep off. So I think we're very fortunate we are able to help them. So we have a bit of big heart, and we can afford to not have an immediate transaction, rather than helping them to start with, right? So you're absolutely right. Asian is about relationship, and Western culture is more about transaction, which is there's nothing wrong about that. I have a bit of both. So while I'm building a relationship, I need a bit of transaction as well, because I have to make a living. So yeah, 10 years now in business, and the biggest achievement definitely is building that influence in the Asian community.
Yeah. So one of the things I really wanted to talk to you about, having established that you're really a successful Australian entrepreneur, and it's wonderful that you're a migrant to our country and have made such a success, our country actually. So philanthropically, you've been very committed to the arts mostly. Is that your niche that you love and you're passionate about?
I think philanthropically is not everything you do, you have to have. I think it's so much easier. You have a passion for something, and then you you base your business or everything on top of that. So you don't feel like you're actually working, right? So who doesn't love art? So I always have a passion for arts. So I've been like collecting arts for like a very early stage of my life. And now you can base something on top of arts. I think is really fantastic. So I'm very fortunate to be an honorary ambassador for MCA, Museum of Contemporary Arts Australia. And what we try to do is that we try to bring that Asian community, because MCA is an open space for everybody. So the arts for everyone is just the Asian community needs to know, doesn't matter where you are, who you are, how far you are, you're welcome to the space, you can enjoy it. And again, we focus on a program and to helping the disadvantaged children. So the children from like western suburbs, children have disabilities, to give them an opportunity to be creative. So yeah, I've been doing so well with that course. And again, now we have more than 30 Chinese ambassadors.
Wow.
And we are participating in the program. But besides of arts, of course, with him, during the 10 years, I've been a top fundraiser for homeless, for Vinnie's, and for CEO Sleep Out, and they always sleep in the street and raising funds. At that moment, I'm still active working with the Children's Cancer Institute, raising funds, a Dare to Cure, we call that, right? So this year we got more than, I think, 10 Chinese people, Chinese entrepreneurs to come and join us to take the dare to raise money for that cause. Yeah, it's very rewarding.
So you're able to bring your relationships and network to whatever fundraising because your connections have a heart for giving as well. Would that be correct?
Yeah, it is. And one of the things, Kathie, for my business, I really want to be, I'm not trying to say I want to make a lot of money. I want to be very successful, right? I think in the Asian community, because it's a new country for them, and they're coming from developing country, philanthropic journey is very complicated. So working with the people from that background. So for them to look at me as a role model, so I have to be giving first. Okay, I never ask for money. So for my fundraisers, I never say, okay, can you don't? No, I never ask. It's always through my social media. I got a massive influence of followers in my social media. So I always say, okay, this is what I do. Yeah. So if you like to do it, you can direct deposit or give in through that channel. So they feel comfortable. It's really hard, during the pandemic, it's really hard to get, people actually giving because everybody's struggling, right? So my thing is like, you don't really have just to give money. You can give time, your love, or if you, like some of the artists, they're really struggling, maybe you can give one of your painting, I can auction, and I can raise that money for the cause. So during this fundraising activities, I have, I just finished one with the CEO Dare to Cure for Children's Cancer Institute. I've got 13 prizes. People donate for me to auction. It's a big exercise. It's such a hard work, right? But again, and we did it. It's not easy, and I think lead by example is better than just asking for money. I think that's what I believe in, right? Especially in my community, it's really difficult to say, okay, donate, you should donate. No. They donate when you're happy, because giving is such a loving thing, right? I keep telling them, if you give, actually you are the happiest person rather than people receiving.
Absolutely. To give it's one of the joys of life.
Correct. But you don't have to just to give money. Just give something. Give some time. Give some, love, whatever that is, right? Just put a like on my Instagram, and at least people know you are there. So it's difficult. It's challenging, but it's really rewarding.
And you also do some work with Red Cross, is that correct?
Yeah, I actually was also a global women leaders for ICRC, so International Community of Red Cross, but that's a much bigger version of of giving. But I'm very focused on day to day, right? So I focus on little things, and we can do activities, people can participate. But for a bigger vision, that is, if I can change the world, of course, that's much better. But from I'm an entrepreneur, I want to get small things first, and then have a bigger vision, and so that's the next journey anyway.
Okay, and people on your staff, are they all passionate about philanthropy as well? Is it something that everyone embraces?
Yeah, this is number one when I recruit and my people, my staff. So this is number one thing. So if they don't have a sense of giving, that's okay too. But my staff, they're not just giving money. They give time. So one of my staff, I know she, everybody's like doing it really hard, right? She's actually based in Melbourne now and have a second baby, and you don't have to give a lot. She gave like $50 for children's cancer. That's all. But she gave time. She helped me to raise funds, connect with the sponsors. I think that's all matters. Yeah, all my staff, I encourage them.
Yeah, it makes for a rounded person. I know in my experience, when I've met people who've been just transactionally focused, there's something missing from life. Like there's that sense of fulfillment. You can tell.
Exactly. I was very touched. I think on one of my birthday a couple of years ago, I said, "What do you want?" I said, "Really, I don't need anything, right?" So and they went to give blood. All my staff. Oh my God, it really touches my heart, right? They give, that's wonderful. It's wonderful. Everybody have something to give. Okay, if you're healthy, maybe you can just give some blood. That's very creative. I love that. Yeah.
And during COVID, I mean, we've actually seen community take on a whole different impact, haven't we? Where people have set up, stalls outside their front house, or with Zoomathons or whatever it is. We've all learnt the fact that we're part of a bigger community. Do you think you've helped educate some of your Asian colleagues as well?
Oh yeah. I think education is a very big word. Right? I think I really believe in guidance. Okay, I think if I set the good example, if I tell the people, so all my staff are working from home. So me and my husband, my daughter actually will work in the office. So we just make sure so we'll keep everything going. I keep encouraging everybody, it's just keep up. And, I think social media is so powerful. So everything we do, we just try to send a positive, I believe everything happened for a reason. Yeah. Okay, so I also make the most out of the hardest time. This is me. So I always send a positive a message that say, okay, let's keep going. Let's the world is going to be better after pandemic, and this is what you can do. This is after, and I think we kept up really well. And I think the Chinese community are very supportive as well. And so we don't do much Zoom, but we do a lot of WeChat. So WeChat, groups and keep everybody active and positive. I think that's something at least we can do.
Yeah. So two last questions. Spirituality, what does it mean to you? Have you gone on a journey to find out about inner strength, meaning and purpose of your life?
I think I'm always very spiritual. So I grew up in a communist background, and we don't really have a religion back home. So even my mom is believe in Buddhism, right? So I think it's a bit superstition, but just my mom, right? So I really believe there's a higher power. There's a love. And but I said, oh my God, just one day, maybe the door is going to be open for me. And I believe everything is, there's a destiny. Okay, everything happen. It's just, it will happen. And if you took it, took the challenge and found the most out of it, so next day is going to be happen. It's going to be better. So everything happened for a reason. Until my current husband come to my life, and he's Orthodox. Okay, I really believe. So he's more like, I think it's a blessing. I think he's my angel. Now he comes, give me, I always believe in God, but he come in here, give me a physical example what it means to be believing in God. I just give you a very simple explanation. We're in the service industry. It's really difficult to actually working with a big heart. So I work with people from China. They're super wealthy. They come here, so they have a different expectation. Okay, because the service area I'm in, sometimes they look at you without much respect. They just keep using you. And it's really hard, even though I have such a big heart, but I'm a woman, I'm a human being. I feel like I'm used sometimes.
Yeah.
One thing my husband is giving to me is you should be so happy because you have something to give to them. They use you because they have something. And, you should be grateful because you are angry. maybe they haven't bought a house from you. Maybe this is, you cannot take the attitude. So it doesn't really matter. You don't, no expectation. You just keep giving. So God is watching. So that's what I really believe in. That's really keep me going. It's really keep me going. Sometimes Kathie, you meet the people who really disrespect you as a real agent, right?
Yeah,
and I, from my background, I don't really need it. I don't need that. I don't have to sell a house to survive. I'm surviving really, really well. But if you do not have expectation that your potential clients or purchasers, doesn't really matter. Just keep giving. And make me feel so much better. Some of the example is extraordinary. So my husband said, you know what? So when you give money, you don't have to tell people you do that. If you help people, you should be so happy because you are able. I said, wow, that's a great religion. And we're very blessed. Like his priest come to my office and bless us, with holy water. And sometimes, business come to our way. I don't even know why. Okay, it's like seriously, I'm in the business for 6 years. We registered for 10 years, but seriously, 6 years. Look what we have achieved. It has to be a blessing. Has to be.
It's interesting. I think when you open your heart with, giving and gratitude and positive things, you attract other positive things. It's like if you live your life angry or hurt, that's exactly what happens. So,
so you just focus, something really positive, and the happiness and the gratitude, like you said, and so life cannot go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do? You lead such a busy life. I mean, I do follow you on social media, and you're here, there, and everywhere. And I'm thinking, when does she ever stay home and have a dinner date?
The people follow my social media and think, oh my God, why they drive me crazy? But in a good way, right? This is how I look at my life. So, this year I'm already 58 years old, right? So think about the big, oh my God, I'm close to 60. So I don't think you have much time to waste. Okay. And my husband said, you don't look up yourself, right? Look, you have to, eat well, exercise. And so I do a little bit like that, but it's not enough. But I really want to do the most I can. And it's just back to the philanthropic, journey. So, I have to make a lot of money, right? So make a money, you have to work really hard. But it's the two purposes. So if I start giving, actually it's not just me giving. I want to give as much as I can, but I can lead other people to give. So you're back to the business. If my business, if I stopped working, I can give only from my own pocket, but eventually ran out. So I have to make the business working hard and, keeps being successful and keeps giving, and hopefully I can influence other people to give. So this is my thing, right? So I don't really have time to rest, but I enjoy what I do.
Well, I know that. But what do you do just to recharge? Do you meditate?
Yeah, I recharge myself. Before I travel overseas, at least twice a year, at least. So just go there, embrace a bit of my own culture, European, flavor, New York scene, all this stuff. But now I cannot travel, right? So, the furthest I can travel is probably Tasmania. When the border is open, I want to go to the museum. I want to enjoy a bit of interstate. And, why I cannot travel? Why can't I work hard, a little bit harder, right? So this is what I do. I travel as far further as Westfield, just to do a bit of shoppings. Look at I'm so boring. I'm boring. So you might look at me really excited, but for me, it's like, everything is got a purpose. I make sure everything I do, I would want to maximize my time and to, during my, I don't know how many years I have, right? I just want to maximize it to the best I can. So this is my life.
Yeah, and you only get one go. You only get one go.
Exactly. Yeah, not everybody can get what I have right now. So a successful business, a really handsome husband, and the daughter is joining me for business, and I got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers, and So what do? You don't want to waste your time. You just do something positive, make an impact.
Thanks for joining us, Monica.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure.